to Enlightenment. 28. Amitabha's 48 Great Vows. The incredible supernal power of unimpeded bodily function. Next, let us take a look at the 10th and 11th vows. When I become a Buddha, living beings born into my land will all obtain the supernal power of perfectly unimpeded bodily function. In the moment of one thought, if they are unable to travel and tour hundreds of thousands of billions of nayutas of Buddha lands to make offerings to all Buddhas, I will not obtain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. This paragraph contains the 10th vow. All will have supernal powers of unimpeded bodily function, and 11th vow. All will have the ability of making offerings to all Buddhas. The unimpeded bodily function belongs to the supernal powers, while the vow of making offerings to all Buddhas is about those bodhisattvas' daily lives. According to commentaries on Mahaprajna Paramita Sutra, this kind of supernal power contains 3 types. Firstly, it is the power of reaching, including that you can fly and transform far objects to become near or vice versa. For example, you are thinking of going to the US now. Japan is here in the Eastern Hemisphere, and the US is there in the Western Hemisphere. You can reach there in just one thought. You have shortened the distance. This supernal power also includes disappearing from one place and appearing at another. Your body suddenly goes to the US, suddenly back to Japan, or appears in both places at the same time. You are at ease as you wish. An eminent monk visits 500 families simultaneously. The biography of divine monks recorded an incident of an eminent Indian monk with the supernal power of unimpeded bodily function. He came to China to impart Dharma and liberated many people. His dharmic affinity was remarkable. When he was going back to India, everyone had an unceasing affection for him. His followers all wanted to invite this monk to their home for a meal. This master nodded and agreed with each of them. Well, that night, everyone had this eminent monk to their home for a meal. He went to 500 families at the same time. The second day, everyone came to bid farewell to this master. After seeing off the monk, everyone said, "The master is particularly compassionate to me. Look, he accepted my invitation." Some other one said, "No, he came to my house." It seemed that everyone had had the master over to their home. Under investigation, they found this monk was amazing. He manifested in 500 families simultaneously. This is the supernal power of unimpeded bodily function, which can gratify everyone's needs. When seeing this, I envy his ability very much. There are more and more people inviting me now. I also hope to gratify everyone's needs. If I could be like him, I can manifest simultaneously in each place to give lectures. This makes liberating all beings an ease. Please understand that I am still learning. I do not have this power now. But I assure you that I will come back after Sukhavati rebirth. By that time, whoever invites me, I will definitely go. This is an expediency for liberating all beings. Nevertheless, our Shifu now is very intelligent. He uses the tool of long-distance teaching, similar to the supernal power of unimpeded bodily function. Many fellow practitioners want to see Shifu. They can just turn on the TV set or computer. The internet or satellite can send Shifu's transformation body to their house, and Shifu will be right in front of them. They can then listen to his sutra teachings. Isn't our Shifu equal to manifesting infinite bodies? He goes to your house to teach you Dharma. It does not matter whether we listen to the Dharma from Shifu in person or from his transformation body in the disc. We can obtain real benefits as long as we use utmost sincerity and respect. This is the first trait of the supernal power of unimpeded bodily function, reaching. The power of transforming matter and its potential risks. The second is transformation, which means you can make changes, changing things from big to small, from small to big, and changing things from one to many, or from many to one. You can transform things as you wish. In Liao Fan's 4 lessons, there is such a story. A long time ago, Lü Zu was learning alchemy. His teacher said to him, "After learning alchemy, you can touch the metal and turn it into gold. Using this gold, you can help others." Lü Zu asked, "After I turn this into gold, will it become iron again in the future? What should I do if it turns back?" The teacher said, "It will become iron after 500 years. Lü Zu said, "I do not want to learn." "Why?" "I now turn it into gold, but 500 years later, people will only get metal from this gold. Doesn't it mean that I will harm people who live 500 years later?" He refused to learn it. The teacher, praising him highly, said, "With this altruistic heart of considering people 500 years later, you have made a great elevation. It takes 3,000 good deeds to cultivate to the level of a fairy, but this one thought of yours has exceeded that." Look, Taoists also stress the skill of transformation, but they do not use this supernal power for themselves. They do it completely for others. This is very important. If we have a little bit of supernal power, yet don't let go of selfishness and egoism, that will be really troublesome. Using this kind of supernal power to cheat our way into fame, prestige, gain, and offerings for ourselves, that will be creating a big negative karma. This belongs to a mind of stealing. According to the 4 clear instructions on purity in the Suringama Sutra, if we don't eradicate the stealing mind, even when we attain samadhi and gain supernal power, we will become a demon in the future and deceive all beings in this world. So we should not have a stealing mind. We should renounce fame, prestige, gain, and offerings. If we don't let go of them, it will harm us in the future. Those who create this kind of karma mostly end up in hell. Taoists speak of supernal power, using it to help all beings. In Sukhavati, it is the same principle. You can use these supernal powers to benefit all beings, yet it is much, much more phenomenal than Taoism. Taoists can change the iron into gold only for 500 years. But when the bodhisattvas of Sukhavati turn the iron into gold, it will stay as gold forever, never returning to its original state. They will not have the slightest shortage in benefiting all beings. Their supernal power is consummate. Using our good intentions to transform things and other people. The third is holy transformation, the supernal power to transform things as one wishes. You can turn those unlovely, impure objects within the 6 dusts of form, sound, smell, taste, touch, into lovely and pure ones. You can transform objects. This is called holy transformation. Shakyamuni Buddha often made this kind of demonstration. For example, the Buddha begged for alms. Those alms-given food might have become tainted or inedible. We say it is not hygienic, but the Buddha ate it as usual. He put that bad-tasting food in his mouth. It would become a delicacy, the finest sweet dew. The Buddha possesses this ability. He would not be hindered by whatever he ate. If we ate food which had expired or with bacteria, we would have diarrhea. It is because we do not have this ability. However, we can develop something similar. How do we develop it? Using our good mind. For example, before eating, we join our palms and respectfully recite Amitabha 10 times, contemplating Amitabha's pure light shining on this food and turning the food into the finest delicacies and sweet dew which eradicate our defilements and reduce our karma. Using this kind of good mind can transform mass. Some scientists have now proven it. I accompanied Shifu to visit Dr. Masaru Emoto in Tokyo 2 times and saw his water crystallization experiments. He discovered that the power of people's minds can change the structure of water. If we give rise to good thoughts, using a heart of gratitude and love towards water, the water crystals will be very beautiful under the observation of a microscope. If we used bad thoughts, such as I dislike you or I hate you, rendering these kinds of bad thoughts to the water crystals would look very ugly, very bad. The same water manifests different crystal structures. It is all because our different thoughts rendered them with a different effect. So when we are eating or drinking, we must recite Amitabha. This thought of Amitabha is most beautiful, most kind. It will turn food into the finest delicacies and definitely bring benefit to our health. Not only should we act this way with water and food, we should act the same way towards all people. In fact, our good minds should have much more of an effect on people. Even water can be transformed. How could it be possible that people are not transformed? Therefore, when we see a person scowling at us, we should treat him with special respect and a smile. This smile is sincere, not hypocritical. We must treat all people with a heart of love, sincerity, kindness, and good intentions. The magnetic field will really be changed. This is similar to implementing Sukhavati into our world. Let love spread through all Dharma realms and let good intentions fill the world. Then all the realms and environments surrounding us will become the best. Nowadays, Western scientists have proven the effect of mind power. This mind power comes with energy. When we give rise to a thought, this thought will generate energy and function to change substances. For this reason, scientists have proposed a concept of controlling things with the mind. In other words, our mind can control substances. Scientists' formula to resolve disasters. We all hope that the disasters of Earth can be resolved. How do we do it? We should pray for the world with our kindest and best thoughts. We gather here for 7 days to recite Amitabha. It is to cultivate our kindest and best minds. Not only will we get good health, the environment of our circumstantial retribution, such as our family and our community, will all get better. Moreover, our mind power integrated together can resolve disasters. Scientists have a formula in regards to resolving the disasters of the world. If there are people of 100th of the square root, approximately the square root of 1% of the population of 7 billion, which is about 8,000 people, using their minds to transform this world and to resolve disaster altogether, the disaster can be eliminated. Now we have about 100 people here. Using the power of the same mind, we can at least resolve the disasters in a region of the population of 1 million. So we must not underestimate our power. This is about the vow of the supernal power of unimpeded bodily function. Visit and tour the universe within one thought. The following is the vow of making pervasive offerings to all Buddhas, which means that in just one thought, they can transcend and reach hundreds of thousands of billions of nayutas of Buddha lands. This is to say that they can widely visit and tour infinite Buddha lands. They can go sightseeing to those lands and make offerings to all Buddhas. After pervasively making offerings to all Buddhas, of course they will listen to Buddha's teachings, thus greatly elevating their own cultivation. This is the daily life of bodhisattvas in Sukhavati. They do so every day. People who like to travel are better off going there. Once you arrive in Sukhavati, the range of your traveling is not limited to Earth but to all Buddha lands in all directions. You neither need to buy an airline ticket nor need a passport and visa. You can go anytime you want. This is extremely phenomenal. Thanks for watching. See you later. Namo Amitabha.